finally get mad.
All right, we should be live. Hello, I am Tom. That is George.
Hey guys. So I'll lead it up, Tom, because Tom's hot, guys. Tom is freaking hot. He's been all day. He's been hot, and I don't know why he's been hot. I mean, but he's been freaking on fire hot, like just mad.
If I knew how to use any of this computer equipment, I would have been on 2.5 hours ago when I was really fired up, and I would have ranted then, but I had to wait for tech support.
Let's make sure that everybody can hear us, and that can somebody just give us the feed out that you can hear Tom, and so we can go, because Tom is ready to go freaking nuts.
Can you hear
Hey, Rob. He's going to go freaking nuts because we are being set up and Tom has figured it out.
The market's insane. So
We are being set up and the market's insane.
All
Set
right.
up. Go ahead, Tom. Take it.
I gotta
Lucian.
regroup.
Loud and clear.
Find my screen.
Oh, you're good. I can see your screen. Hey. So Tom's upset.
It's not that I'm upset, it's that I'm furious. No, it just mystifies me. These things don't make any sense at all. So I'm gonna start by talking about Lucid Motors. So I know that is a beloved company, and this is not about the company. So everything that I talk about is not about companies. I'm talking about stocks. So Lucid Motors today went insane. I don't know if you guys saw what Lucid Motors did, but I'm going to go. This is their Yahoo page. So they ended up 31% on the day. At one point they were up 45% on the day. This is a large cap stock. So large cap stocks do not go up 45% on the day. And it is all because dreams come true. Lucid confirms first customer deliveries to take place on October 30th. So I don't see George. He's gone, but I'll keep going. So this company's never sold a car. They're going to sell lots of cars. And I understand the business model, and I've been through the numbers in painstaking detail. So I'm not dismissing these guys. Also, they have some battery technology that is superior to, at the moment, everybody's. So this company has its pros and cons. I like the company. I love their car. But at one point today, their market cap today was bigger than Ford's was yesterday. So these guys are about to deliver their first car, and Ford has delivered over 100 million cars. And then I know people go, well, it's not just a car company. It's an electric vehicle company, and that's a game changer, and that's Yeah, I understand all of that too, but you guys got to understand something. However much you think an electric vehicle is a game changer, before the car, we were riding around in horse and buggy. So I am sorry, the electric vehicle is not incrementally larger upgrade from a gas car to an EV than from a horse and buggy to a car. And by the way, Ford's been doing this for 100 years. They've made hundreds of billions of dollars doing this. They just put out their forecast yesterday. They're estimating they're going to make $10 billion next year. Lucid Motors is only going to have $1 billion in sales next year. So
Hopefully.
If all goes well, they're going to have $1 billion in sales. So Ford's going to make $10 of profit for every $1 of sale that Lucid has. And they're roughly the same market cap. So something is wildly, wildly wrong. The EV sector is broken. And something new happened today as well, because there were two EV sectors, the large caps and the small caps. And the large caps have spiraled out of control. And I don't even like to say stuff about Tesla because the Tesla people are very passionate about their company and their stock. And they've got a good company and they make a lot of money. But I'm not even going to get started on that or George will get mad at me because I know. But
Love Tesla.
listen, Tesla's cars are great. They've got a lot of cutting edge technology. They're working in a lot more than just vehicles. I understand all that. But I am going to do a video and do the math and explain Tesla. I just want to put it in perspective. On Tuesday, Tesla had a really good day. The amount that their market cap increased was equal to the entire market cap of General Motors plus Ford. That means they went up in one day. Their value went up than General Motors and Ford has in the last 100 years. So,
welcome
Tesla's
to the
great.
new age.
This is my point. Tesla's great, and people go, oh, Tesla, but you got to put the entire market into perspective. Nobody gets $115 billion of market cap in one day. They didn't even do anything it was a Tuesday.
So wait a second. I heard they sold 100,000 cars. How can you pick on my Tesla? They sold 100,000 cars.
Yeah, and Ford's,
to Hertz.
How many cars? George happened to have been in the car rental business. How many cars do you think car rental companies buy a year?
Millions.
Millions of cars.
Yes, millions. Probably close to 5 million, honestly.
So Tesla just sold 100,000 of them. And that's good. It's all good news. But you don't get to increase. They sold 100,000 cars. They increased more than Ford and General Motors, which together have sold hundreds of millions of cars. So this is what's got me worked up. And seeing Lucid Motors, and I watched, it was up 30%, 31, 32, 35, 37, 40. It got up over 45%. And there's really no news today. Everyone's just like, oh, they're really sticking it to the shorts, only nobody's really shorting this stock. So this is not a short squeeze either.
I just don't think you understand the technology and how amazing this is.
Believe it or not,
Try a BMW, never want a Tesla anymore. The Model X, I don't know, man. That Model X, and you put it in ludicrous mode.
Listen, Tesla has some great cars, but
here's why I love Tesla. Ready?
Brings up a good point. Go ahead.
No hands. No hands.
Oh yeah, you drive.
Oh, until until. By the way, I've tried to use this feature many times, and it tells me what we did. We figured out a way to put an orange in the handlebars, so you could go and use it. But you're right. There is no real true is driver's assist. Sorry.
It's driver assist. Everybody's going towards. They're all shooting for automated driving. That's a totally separate conversation that I'm not even going to get started on because I'm already too fired up about the other stuff. But anyway, JJT Peters said, try a BMW. So that brings up a valid point. People don't understand. BMW, Mercedes, all of these guys are making electric vehicles. And BMW's been making high-end, ultra-high-end vehicles for a long time. Their sales, they have a lot of sales. Volkswagen has a massive amount of sales. The competition in the EV space is going to be monstrous. And then I know people go, well, but Tesla is also inventing artificial intelligence and a human robot and an automated driving car and well that's great. When they put those out and sell them and make money on them, then their stock can go up.
I see it $3,000, $4,000.
Yeah, you and Kathy Woods and Elon Musk. So if you want to use whatever numbers you want, you can come. I can give you a market cap for anything. But I'm sitting here looking at Lucid Motors. So let's look at Lucid Motors. So they ended the day at $57 billion. They were way over $60 billion in the middle of the day. So
okay, so 60 billion. Give me, how about what is that? Like the top 3 miners combined? Is that what that is?
No, that's bigger than every single Bitcoin miner all put together.
So
And
they're going to
it's
make
not
more,
close.
but so they're going to make more money than Bitcoin, the
No.
Bitcoin miners next year.
Not even close.
No. Maybe you misunderstood the question. Because they're worth market cap of 60 roughly billion. I know it's off a little bit. And you're saying that they're going to make less money than the top 10 mining companies? What are the top 10 mining companies? Is that what, 40 billion?
No, the number 1 mining company traded on the NASDAQ is Marathon, and they're only a $5 billion company. Most of the rest of them are under 1 billion. So it's not even close. Every publicly traded Bitcoin miner in North America, all added up, put together, is not 1/4 the market cap of Lucid Motors, which, as of today, has never sold and delivered a car. That's my point.
So wait a second. Shouldn't we use the same analogy on Lucid Motors for the Bitcoin mining companies? Because really, oh wait, no, they've mined coins. But isn't that the same thing? They must have a big cash reserve then.
No,
They must have a bigger cash reserve. That's why they got such a big market cap.
Nope, their balance sheet is no stronger than the Bitcoin mining balance sheets. Their income statement is, you're looking, see my screen? This is their income statement. It doesn't exist because they've never sold a car. So here's what the analysts think they're going to do. So they're hoping this year, they're hoping in the fourth quarter to have sales of $76 million.
So, okay.
So that's what Ford did since we started this live stream. That's how much sales Ford has had.
Okay, I'm confused. Let me just answer this so I understand, and I'm going to take my thinking cap off for a second and just pretend like I know nothing about the stock market.
All
okay.
Right.
So you have this company. They're going to make I've always been told market cap is the future value of what this company is going to do, what the future of this company is going to do, and that's the reason why it has a value so high.
A lot of these companies, that's right. Obviously, on a pre-revenue company, you can't have a price earnings. You can't have a price sales. They have no sales and they have no earnings. So it's all about potential. So yes,
there's a potential. So how do you come up with your potential for the $60 billion valuation? How do you do that for me? I understand, because now I want to go invest my $35 to buy a stock. Tell me how I do that.
There's no calculation that I can come up with. There's no traditional valuation analysis that would put this company at $60 billion. It's just la-la land. And if somebody has one, I would love them to send me a valid, any recognized form of valuation that values a company, or show me another company outside of the EV sector where there's a market cap that looks anything like this. This is now one of the biggest companies in the world.
So do you think this is a pump and dump?
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I don't know what comes next. That's my problem with this EV. The large cap EV sector, I don't know what comes next, because they're all, Tesla's $1 trillion. NIO's, $80 billion. They're all huge. So how is NIO?
Wait, we're confusing revenue and market cap. Well, there's no revenue in Lucid Motors, so at all.
I'm
right?
talking
Wait,
about,
no, I heard they made $90,000.
I'm not sure what they mean by confusing revenue and market cap. The market cap
Ryan,
is
can you expand? Because I'm confused. I'm really seriously confused. I'm not trying to be an idiot. I'm just trying to understand if I'm going to go spend my $35 per share, right? I'm just a little investor, right? I don't know anything. Why would this company run up 31% today? No. Does anybody know? We really, guys, look at one thing great about this channel is this is for us to learn together. And if somebody has the reason why this company's done what it's done, maybe there's bigger news than we know. Do you think it's because that, you know, in 2030 we're going to all electric vehicles?
So anybody can feel free to chime in on the chat if they want. I'm going to answer. Like, those are all, one of the things you just said, Jordan, yeah, people think that EV is the future, and I think we are moving towards that. Electric vehicles continue to take up a higher and higher percentage of the overall number of vehicles on the road, and I think that trend is going to continue indefinitely. So,
Here's what I think's getting ready to happen, guys, and I'm really being serious when I talk to Tom about all this, and this is bigger than you guys can possibly imagine. I think it's heading off a cliff. I think that they pushed whatever it's called, Lucid Motors, because, like, I don't know if you know this, but was it 2 months ago now? It wasn't, October? I think it was September. How much money did Apple end up losing in market cap?
what?
$233 billion.
Apple? Yeah, but
Apple.
yes.
But
And
do
to-
you
and
think
to
the
them,
hedge
that's a-
fund?
And
I
to
know,
them,
but
that's
do
a
you
small
think
pullback.
you're right? But do you think the hedge funds lost any money?
I go usually under the assumption that the hedge funds tend to
Make money.
not lose money.
Okay, here we go. Try to divide the value by the number of cars they expect to sell in 10 years. There you go. There's your answer.
Okay, if you do that, then they should be 1/100th the valuation of Ford, General Motors, Volkswagen, Toyota.
See, I think this is our problem that we have. Well, at least I've been saying for a year that the market should crash already because of the value. The answer is hype.
Peter said that's right. The answer is hype, and unfortunately I believe the answer is hype. But my frustration is, like, sometimes this happens. A company or a sector runs a little bit out of control, and it gets ahead of itself, and then it corrects. But we're years into the EV sector doing this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I understand what you're saying. No, we're just trying to get to the bottom to understanding. But here's what Tom honestly believes, and he's just not saying it. He feels this is a setup to steal more money from the retail investors. Because the retail investor, FOMO, you guys all know what FOMO is, and I suffer from it all the time. And that, you see something like this and you want to get on, and it just goes and goes and goes, and before you know it, boom, it drops like a ball. But then again, that's never happened to Tesla, but Tesla has a lot of other things going for it, like Lucid Motors does not.
Well, Tesla is so far ahead of Lucid
Yeah.
Motors, it's hard to even
I mean, when you
compare
say
it
they're
to.
like 10 years ahead of them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Lucid Motors is in a very niche market, whereas Tesla offers an affordable car that everyone in the world can buy. They also offer comparable cars to Lucid on the high end, but, they have cars across the board. So Tesla is, in my opinion, a totally different animal than Lucid Motors. And today is an example. If you look at today's volume, 370 million shares traded today. So to George's point, my guess is the hedge funds pumped this up. The retail investors bought it. It pushed $40 today. That's when everybody bought it, and then it runs back down to $35. So, these are the kinds of trends to me. The retail investors keep losing money. And on these EV stocks, they did a rug pull on a lot of these. If you remember, XL Fleet and Helion and several others, their market caps ran up to the moon and then crashed. And they are still all pretty much crashed. I will say today is the very first day that some of the small cap EVs had a big day today. So I'll put that on the table. But by and large, I mean, most of the small cap EV companies have been totally destroyed, and I'm worried that is an indicator of what they're doing on a much grander scale with the large cap EV stocks. So we've already seen it play out in the small caps. Is this what's coming next in the large caps? And how far do they run before this happens?
So one of the things that I think, and everybody kind of understands this game, right? I almost want to say that you can feel the pump coming on certain stocks, and then all of a sudden it doesn't go anywhere or takes off. I mean, DWAC is a great example of that one, especially in the last week. But if you look, Bitfarm has had that, but for some reason, Bitfarm gets hammered all the time. And I thought this would be the week that Bitfarm would finally take off, but I could not believe Bitfarm went below $5 again. I mean, I was just like, back up the truck, let's load it up.
And anybody that watches the channel knows every day that Bitfarms pulls back, I buy some more. So Bitfarms had a great day today, and Scott earlier noted CleanSpark crushed it today. Still a lot of room to run. I totally agree, Scott. I did not sell any of my CleanSpark today, and CleanSpark did crush it today. For once, they led everybody. So,
I have another question about Bitfarm.
Yeah.
I want you to compare just Bitfarm to Lucid Motors.
Well, it's hard. It's comparing.
Is there a way or no?
It's, to some extent, it's apples to oranges. They do very different things. I mean, the case that I would make is Bitfarms has a outstanding business model. Their gross profit margin is 80+%. Their growth rate is huge. Now, Lucid Motors' growth rate, we think, is also going to be huge. It'd be nice if they sold their first car before we figure out how much their growth rate is from there. So, I don't understand how a company runs up to $60 billion at zero sales. It used to be a company would run up to $1 billion with zero sales, and that would mystify me. And I would say, how are you going to put $1 billion market cap on this company pre-revenue? Now we're putting $60 billion market caps on pre-revenue companies.
Maybe it's because of the dollar.
The dollar has not gone down that far.
What? 60 to 1?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is so sad is this is from a retail investor, they're probably safer in Bitfarms. This is not financial advice. This is George advice. They'd probably be safer in Bitfarm than they would be in Lucid Motors.
Lucid Motors, the volatility that Lucid Motors is going to experience. So the Bitcoin mining, in all our Bitcoin mining videos, we talk about how Bitcoin's a volatile asset. The Bitcoin miners have risk and they're volatile. But this risk, I mean, this thing was up 45% today on nothing, on no news. So
I agree, Ryan. He just wrote down people are too scared with that shelf offering. I didn't even know what a shelf offering was before you told me.
I know. I did a video. You're right, Ryan. That is what is holding the price of that stock back. I think there's a few things that management can do to put people's mind at ease that they have not done yet. They hired a new investor relations and marketing firm, and I'm not sure what those people are doing because...
What exactly would you say you do here?
I
manage relations for the GD customer. Sorry.
I think that Bitfarms announced today they're gonna have their earnings on November 15th. So we're gonna get a conference call on November 15th.
And I heard you get to ask questions. Is this true?
You can pre-submit a question.
And did you?
And I did not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bitfarms is making more money than Lucid, and that's going to continue to be true. That's my point. Like, Bitfarms is already up and running. their growth rate isn't a guess. We see them growing. They're getting machines on a regular basis. They've already dramatically increased their hash rate. They've dramatically increased the number of Bitcoin they mine per month, and the price of Bitcoin is dramatically increasing. So these are variables that we have some understanding of. Lucid Motors is just, ooh, pretty car.
Pretty good. Hey, can you imagine getting this one car off the road? Hey, Bubba, you got the duct tape? What do you mean? We got to duct tape this motherfucker together. You know there's issues with it. There's just no doubt in my mind.
I don't know. I'm not trying to bash Lucid as a company, because I can tell you their battery technology is phenomenal. They've got a better battery right now than everybody on the entire market. It's better than Tesla's by far. So if they just traded as a battery company, that's better technology.
Go ahead.
My point is, there's another 20 companies working on new batteries. All of those companies are so it's gonna be a game, who's got the best battery. Right now it's Lucid Motors. It really is, but that'll change.
What's so good about it? Is it a lithium battery?
I think they tested at like 530 or 580 miles of charge on their battery, which is so much more than what Tesla's battery does. So to me, that's what everybody's trying to do. They're trying to get more distance per charge on their battery for an affordable cost.
So okay, I have a bone to pick too. And I think you lied to me, Tom. Okay. You lied to me.
I don't believe that, but go ahead.
And actually, you didn't. DigiHost lied to me. You want to know what they said? They said they were not changing their ticker symbol.
Yeah,
and they did.
I know. They just put that press
and
release
they
out
did
2 days ago.
And they did, and that's why I couldn't trade any today.
I don't know.
They said they were keeping it the same, and it didn't. Now it looks like did Home Depot buy them? Is that the rumor on the street? That DigiHost Home Depot?
You're starting that right now.
Well, it says HSS Home Depot HD.
Lewis, yes, I know. I meant to start today's thing by saying I don't even want to have a rant at all, because I had one of the best days in the market I've had all year. So I feel guilty getting on here and bitching about anything at all. So congratulations to everybody out there who's in the Bitcoin miner sector. And I have one of my other big things I do trade is the smaller cap EV stocks. And like I said, they all went ballistic today. So today it was like, I don't know, somebody looked at my portfolio and just ran up all the stocks. So I'm grateful for that. And today was a great day. Having said that.
Oh my goodness. So they just released what my DigiHost, I'm no longer mad at DigiHost.
Oh, okay. Here,
they just released, you can answer in a second. They just released my DigiHost and how much I made today on DigiHost.
How much did you make?
I don't want to tell you guys.
What percent? You were up?
It says 7%.
Up 7%.
Up 7%.
And we couldn't even trade it if we wanted to, but you still made money.
But what if I didn't want to make money?
Yeah, well that's your problem.
I didn't want to make money. Who's saying I wanted to make money? I didn't want to make any money.
I think it's generally assumed that is the reason.
Oh my goodness!
Stocks.
Now that that's in, this has just turned out to be my best day in the trading market today. Wow.
See, we should all be happy.
I'm very happy now.
Somebody asked what kind of dog I have. What kind of dog do I have? It's a mixed breed. She's kind of looks like a Labrador Retriever, but she's all white with some brown spots. So about 65 pounds. So, medium-sized dog. Good dog. I have a good dog. She's very well behaved.
So if I had 5,000 stock of that DigiHost. I divide that by 3. Is that correct?
You divide however but if you're looking, they've already done that in your brokerage. If you're looking at the
No, on E-Trade they didn't do it yet. E-Trade
Oh,
it's
okay.
still messed up. Oh my goodness,
Yes,
it's an
Peter's
evil number.
Arrow did great as well. If I don't know if you follow the channel.
Did you see
enough.
Ryan? Ryan said he's selling $15 strikes. Is that like a call or is that on put? What is that?
I think he's talking about on Hut.
Oh, is he on Hut?
I sold $15 strikes against my leaps. They expired December 17th. Yeah, I mean, you're going to make money either way on that. The question is Hut 8 has had such an awesome run already. They're up, I think, like 70% in the last month. So if you're making some money selling $15 strikes against your leaps, I think that makes sense
Hey
to
guys, I'm just so you know, this is what did you just say? Strikes, leaps, jumps?
Sorry.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
I want to shout out to JJT Peters because he mentioned Arrow. I have been doing Arrow videos for months, and that is one of my positions. And yes, Arrow did great today. So I'm
What is
very
it? What
happy
type?
about
What
that.
type of company is it?
Arrow is that's a small cap EV stock. So they've been beaten down into submission. There's several of these small cap EVs that are basically priced that the market's betting they're going out of business. And in my opinion, Arrow is one of those. You know,
Are
so
they
if you're
going
just
to or no?
looking at a Lucid Motors, watch this because this is going to boggle your mind.
Dude, I'm sorry, but I just got a big smile on my face. I'm adding this all up.
So
Wow.
these guys are an EV company. Their market cap's $114 million. Lucid Motors is $60 billion. Somebody discuss amongst yourselves. Somebody explain to me how that is possible. Jacob, I will talk about Voyager. I'm kind of mad. I was in the middle of working on a video for Voyager, and I feel like I missed the boat because they just blew up today big time. And they were beaten down for reasons I don't understand. So they had an awesome run. I think they were up like 13 or 14%. They might have done a lot better than that by the end of the day. Let me take a look.
You know what we should do tomorrow? Of the stocks that you've picked, which ones have done the opposite of what you thought they were going to do?
Wow, 37%. So yeah, I
Wow.
missed my window of opportunity to get an Arrow or a Voyager video out.
37%?
I'm a little late to the party on that one.
What does Voyager do?
They're crypto exchange, and they're looking to be more than that. They've got a great business model. They're making money. I don't know what they were. They were at like $9. It was crazy. Miguel, yes, Beam. So I don't. You may know I've done a bunch of Beam videos that blew up today. So that was awesome. Let's just take a quick look at Beam.
Oh my goodness gracious. I don't want to tell everybody that I sold Beam. I was so happy I sold it the other day. And I sold it at 29 something.
Well, it was kind of going from 27 to 30, from 27 to 30, but I feel like it broke out today. So
It
up
did.
16% today. Beam's a winner. Spread the word on Beam. This is not financial advice, but Beam is set up better for a short squeeze than any other company in the entire stock market, and it's not even close. So they're suppressing, I feel like they're suppressing that information and they're biding their time. But I like Beam even without the short squeeze. I like what they do. They're in with the government. They're getting contracts left and right.
Even though they don't disclose their deals of their contract. That always bothers me.
George, are you calling Arrow a hot dog stand?
I didn't. Somebody else did. In Georgia for EV hot dog stand.
Well, they do. They're not wrong. if you look at what one of the things they do is kind of like mobile food units.
Oh, really?
So they can be a hot dog stand.
Hey, you never know when you're hungry.
That's they do a bunch of different things with their vehicles, and one of them is like, you know, a food service. So
Annie is back down, gotten hammered again. Annie's back down in the $6 range.
Yeah.
So hey, Tom, what do you think's gonna happen to Bitcoin now?
I'm still very bullish on Bitcoin. I think we're in the middle of a very big bull run that started September 29th. And, you know, I want to look at, as long as we're talking about that, let's look at something weird that happened today. So this is Bitcoin on the 1 minute chart. At 237, 238, in that 1 minute, Bitcoin went down like $3,600. And then you can see we had green candle, green candle, green candle, and it spent the rest of the day working its way back up. And it actually ended up above where it was to begin with. But I don't know what the heck happened in this 1 minute. Maybe somebody knows and they can tell me. I mean, it doesn't make sense. This was not longs getting liquidated. Nothing was happening in Bitcoin to make that happen. So I don't know if somebody just dumped a huge amount of Bitcoin onto the exchange or what. But anyway, I think that goes to the resilience of this bull market right now. In, you know, this giant $3,600 dump in 1 minute, and we made it right back in the next few minutes. And we ended the day higher than that. So we're at 61,637 right now. I got my purple line at 63,000. I think that's our next stop. So I'm very bullish. You know, any given day, Bitcoin can go up and down, but between now and the end of the year, I think I still have a $100,000 price target for. That's my personal guess for Bitcoin by the end of the year, and that is not financial advice.
60-day countdown, huh? So, two things. Are you gonna admit?
Oh, hold on. I want to answer chat.
Are they gonna have another split? Oh, yeah.
They're not gonna.
DigiHost.
They're not gonna have another split. No.
DigiHost.
This was a reverse split. So it's a hard question to answer because we got to adjust for the split. So adjusted for the split, their stock price was $4.70 because they did a 3-to-1 reverse stock split. So it increased.
And why would they do this?
They needed to increase the price of their stock to get in compliance with uplisting to the NASDAQ.
And why would they want to do that?
Well, once they're on the NASDAQ, there's multiple amounts of more money on the NASDAQ than there are really on any other exchange. So it gives them access to some liquidity. And my guess is they want to have, they're going to raise some capital. They'd like to buy, you know, they're in this to buy mining machines. So, you know, if they can get their hands on $50 or $80 million, they're going to go buy another couple exahash worth of mining machines and make money. So that's their deal. So I would say, you know, the price adjusted to $4.70. So I'm going to be conservative because they've got a few things happening between now and the end of the year. They just did a reverse stock split. Sometimes that can take a while to settle itself out. And they're going to uplist to the NASDAQ, and sometimes that can take a while to settle itself out. Having said that, I still think they'll probably double.
Oh, and just I guess would it be Meadow? That was me. Sorry guys. The 46.5. That was me. My bad.
46.5 is your what?
That was my trade. My bad.
Oh.
I dumped 46 million.
Oh yeah, sure. That was you.
That was
Holy
me.
Cow. Thanks Menno, for letting us know that. So that was a giant dump. But it see, that's what I'm saying. So, you know, there's the supply and demand equation for Bitcoin just keeps getting better every single day. So that's why I think this bull run is going to keep running. We now have moved a lot of the mining to North America, and all the miners are all of their Bitcoin. So that's changing the nature of the supply and demand equation.
Look at that. 1 year, 366%. Do you hear me?
Yeah, what?
That's the up. How much Bitcoin's up? 366%.
Yes, and it's gone sideways for the last 6 months. And it's still up that much. So I think there's a lot left. We just finally are getting back to picking up where we left off, in April. So we're at 61,699, and on this 1 minute chart, we did get down to 56,559. So from 238 today until now, we're up to from 56.5, and that's kind of a flash crash number. But we're back up to 61.7, and like I said, I got my next purple line, my next target's 63, and those are super short-term targets.
I don't know. I'm still mad at Bitfarms.
The Creator Show, how many miners mine Ethereum? Is Hive the main miner? I don't know about the entire network, but I know of the publicly traded companies. Hut 8 has jumped into mining Ethereum pretty seriously. So I know Hive is the leader in that by far, but Hut 8 has jumped in the game too. So to me, and that's why I like holding those two positions. They have a little diversity that some of the other ones don't.
They must have went to What to Mine, the website whattomine.com. I heard that's how she came up with, well, look at Ethereum's paying out more than Bitcoin right now if you mine it. And he said, okay, well, let's mine that.
It can't hurt to diversify. I know a lot of stuff's going on with Ethereum, and at some point there won't be any Ethereum mining, but I think we're ways off from that. In the meantime, they're making a lot of money at it.
Why do you think people mine other things? Like for an example, if you could mine, Ethereum for, it says profit $7.61. Why would somebody mine something where they have a profit of, I don't know, $2.77 or $2? What does anybody know why they would do that?
I
wonder if it's different machines. I guess probably.
The Bitcoin machines have their own machines, so they can't cross mine with Bitcoin machines, but pretty much the other machines you can customize to mine whatever you want. Some people may do that because they think that
they're going to go up in value.
Yeah, the coin's going to skyrocket, so let me mine them now, even though the profit's less today when the coin jumps. So I don't know. I certainly, if I was a miner, I would be mining Bitcoin, and if I couldn't get my hands on any Bitcoin mining machines, which is a big problem, then I'd be mining Ethereum.
This feather coin just plummeted. I don't know what that is. They went from the 25th to the 26th. Did anybody buy Shiba?
Don't even make me rant on that.
Well, Shiba. I put in $100 and I got $500 back. I took it, just so you guys know. I was like, how can this keep going? It probably will. Can you explain why you don't think it? Look at that. Oh my God, I sold it at 0.00085 and now it's 0.00063. I crushed it, guys. Crushed. It's down 21.61% right now. Crushed.
This is what I will say. I don't begrudge anybody trading Shiba Inu coin, and there's some potential short-term money to be made, but it's more of a day trade type of a thing. And my frustration is there's a lot of videos coming out from, what I would call high-profile YouTubers talking about Shiba Inu getting to a penny or to $1. And I'm just going to tell you guys, and this includes any potential burning and any of the other variables that you want to put in, Shiba Inu's not getting to a penny. So usually I say this, put every caveat in the world after a statement like that. But it's so much not even close that it's not worth talking about. It's never getting to a penny, and it is certainly never getting to $1. So it's just not going to happen. That doesn't mean you can't make money on it in the middle. So, you know, for those of you who follow the coin, and you know, it pumps and dumps a lot, and there's money to be made in the middle, and it's gotten up. I mean, it's one of the top 10 coins. So,
It's number 10 now. It's plummeting.
So, but that's
22%. It's gonna, dude. People are gonna get so scared.
That
Sorry.
is the very reason that it can't get to $1 or a penny.
Have you ever made any coins, Tom?
Oh, the Creator Show said. What
do you say?
Graham Stephan did a Shiba to $1 today.
No, that's even more than $1. That's the European dollar. That's not the American dollar, which is like 50 cents to the Europe dollar.
Oh, Meet Kevin.
Meet Kevin.
Oh, they're the same thing. You're right. 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Did he say it was going to $1?
I watched some Meet Kevin. I have a hard time watching Graham Stephan anymore. No offense. I used to watch him. And I still watch Meet Kevin, but it's not going to $1. And the arguments that people put together that it is going to $1, they really haven't put a lot of thought into, because it's just mathematically not going to happen.
Oh, wait. Look at Peter's just asked about the thing that you brought up to me how many months ago? The fuel cell energy.
Oh, yes.
He went deep. Guys, this is what Tom does. He will spend hours and hours and hours researching things. Not like, you know, oh, let's do, like I would spend 5 minutes before I buy something. He spends hours and hours and hours. That's how he ended up in the mining, you know, world, because he just knows that there's going to be a ton of money made there. Not financial advice, but that is that the fuel cell? Is that the thing you're talking about? The hydrogen?
Ticker F cell is near and dear to my heart because I bought them at $1.98. So if you guys know where they went, that was a really, really, really good stock for me. But yes, they have pulled back massively. And I was just about ready to get into them, and they started to run. But now I believe they've pulled back a little. So I would look at that. I'm going to look at it right now.
That's so funny. I'm just saying this. Tom's not saying this, but I think the stock market is overbought. I think the only place you can make money right now is the stock market, but book out your profits, guys. Just make sure you have an exit strategy, because I think it can turn on a dime.
So yeah, see, around October 18th, it was running up, pushing $9, and I was getting scared at that point. I should have bought it right here at 7. But yeah, I think there's a lot of room to run on that. So I'm going to consider getting back into that. I just had such a great run on this. I hate to go back to the well. I got this at $1.98. I don't know. I sold it at $15 or $20 or maybe more. This thing ran up, I think, to $30. Yeah, $26.20 according to this chart. So yeah, I mean, this was crazy, but it's coming back around, and this is a technology nobody talks about, and I think this is going to be a huge technology.
Can you elaborate a little bit more for?
This actually is a substitute for all these electric vehicles. This is hydrogen fuel, and it's much more, what's the right way to say that? It's much more environmentally friendly. It's much more green. There's no carbon emission whatsoever for the entire process. So it's probably about the most green thing you can do. They've got the technology, and I think over the course of time, I would not be surprised, and this is a long time, but I would not be surprised if that technology actually replaces the electric vehicle technology.
But actually, it's been around longer, hasn't it? I mean, the technology's been around.
It has not been applied. And again, a big part of the problem, so where EVs have a giant head start, is a lot of governments have chipped in a lot of money to start getting the infrastructure in the way of fueling stations. So, that was that's why EVs had a hard time, and it took so long for them to even start catching up to
Whoa.
yeah, well, just gas vehicles. There's how many gas stations in the world? You got to create that many fueling stations for EVs, but we're well on the way now. So that is happening. So that's something that hydrogen fuel is going to have to overcome. They're going to have to figure out a way to get infrastructure in, but it's very, everything that I have read about that and everything that I see, I feel like it's further off in the distance, but it's an awesome technology.
I found out why Beam took off today.
How come?
I just put it up there. They're going to do 500,000 charging stations.
Wow.
500,000. What is he saying? The stock Mo said the S&P he reckons will have a low year next year. I'm sure he says 3 or 4%. I agree. At least. I actually think it might be worse than that.
Well, this year has been mind-boggling. Last year and this year have been unbelievable. So at some point you would think there would be a pullback, but I'm still waiting and it hasn't come yet. So
I know. That's the one thing we always say, this is the day, and it never happens.
Yeah, if I'd have started betting against the market when I thought it was oversold, I'd be broke by now. So
right. That's why you never bet against it.
Well, at some point it makes sense to hedge, but it hasn't paid off yet.
So with Beam, can you explain the setup that is for Beam right now? Because with that news that just came out, that could really, how everybody likes to do that AMC thing? They're trying to do it. That could happen with Beam. Explain.
All right, I'll explain Beam. I just want to answer. They're asking for some love for CleanSpark, and I did shout out earlier. That's one of my 3 biggest positions, and it was on fire today. And CleanSpark has been on fire. Bitfarms needs to do what CleanSpark did. CleanSpark also has a $500 million shelf offering. So their stock got destroyed. They were trading in the $10 handle, which was insane. So you literally, if you watch some of my older videos, I say it's trading at $10.50 and this price is insane. It's stupid. It makes no sense. But this is what happens to these stocks. They get so punished for a shelf offering. So what CleanSpark did was, because you have certain parameters, you're not allowed to just talk about this stuff. When you do a shelf offering, you've put it out there and it's $500 million, and people think that you may go and take that $500 million, and they don't know when you've done it. So what CleanSpark did is they bought a bunch of mining machines, and they put out a press release to let everybody know they bought them with the Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So basically, without saying, they got to tell people, listen, we're not using our shelf offering at $10 a share. That's not happening. We will sell our Bitcoin before we do that. So, next thing you know, it's less than a month later, and they were over 19 at one point today. I don't know where they closed, so now maybe they'll start. I got no problem with them using some of their shelf offering at $19. At $10.50 would have been stupid. Yeah, they're almost at $20 right now. So there.
That's a double.
They pulled a double, and
that's a double from when you recommended it, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah, so it's almost a double now. It's not quite yet a double, but it's
dude. Look at their market cap.
Right, this is what I'm talking about. $732 million. All these combined are under $15 billion. Every single one of them, all put together.
So they'd have to 4x just to all of them have to 4x just to reach to Lucid.
Back to my original rant, that's right. Every single one of these put together times 4 equals Lucid. So I'll take You guys know where my bet is. I've put my money on the Bitcoin miners. So yeah, big shout out to Clean Spark. That's one of my top 3 positions. And I sold none of it. So they ran today, and it just, to me, it wasn't time to get rid of any of it. So
Where do you? I mean, by the end of the year, if it gets to 100, if Bitcoin gets to 100,000, where are we going with Clean Spark?
Oh, if Bitcoin gets to 100,000, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question on the spot. It's certainly going up from here. My longer term price target is this was over $40 this year. So even when it's running up to 20, it's nowhere near where it was. This was over $40 before they started mining Bitcoin. This was practically a pre-revenue company that has some very cool technology on the other side of it. But just on that technology alone, they were pricing this at $40. So now you add to that a money-making machine, and the stock is less than half what it used to be. So I have still high hopes for Clean Spark's share price.
I love your name, by the way, the Creator Show. If you want to, I have another YouTube channel. It's my name. It's called Poop Dynasty. That's where.
It's a true story.
It's a true story. It's a little smelly, guys, but it's Poop Dynasty. Minimum 40. I think so. I think it's gonna go to 40.
Oh, where are we from? Somebody asked, trying to figure out the accent. Do we have an accent?
I'm from Canada, eh? I just let's see if anybody picks this up. Do 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 do. If you're from Canada, you know, and you're around my age, you know that. Do 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 do. Hey, my name's Doug. What's your name? If I'm Doug?
Oh, Bob and Doug.
Bob and Doug, and
Bob
I'm with
Doug
Bob.
McKenzie.
And I'm Doug. Can you imagine? Hey, you hoser. What are you doing? So what is the current power of the hash rate of Clean Spark?
Oh, Clean Spark. Clean Spark has bought, I think they've purchased now. It's not active and running, but I think they're pushing machines ordered. They're at like 3.8 exahash. They're nowhere near that yet. They're just around 1, I think, in actual machines mining right now, but they've got orders to get themselves to, I think I added this up to 3.8 exahash.
You're from England. Do you like my accent? Do you? That's my English accent. I'm speaking the Queen's language now.
We're not actually from Canada, so George said Canada. We're from just south of the border of Canada. We're from upstate New York, about an hour away from Niagara Falls.
I didn't want to tell anybody I was from New York, so I'd rather go with Canada, eh?
Yeah, well, when I say upstate New York, we're closer to
Buffalo,
Canada
Niagara Falls.
We are, yeah. It's a 6 or 7 hour drive to New York.
Yeah,
City
I agree.
Grew up.
Somebody said nobody under 40 thinks Ford or GM will avoid bankruptcy within 10 years. And you know what? I totally agree. But you know what the government does? They dole out the money.
Let's put it this way.
Hi, Andy from England.
Ford and General Motors were financially in a much, much worse of a crisis 20 years ago than they are today. And I know that Ford and General Motors gets dismissed by younger people, but General Motors has put about $40 billion into electric vehicles, and Ford has not far behind them. So I would not count them out by any means.
I'm looking up Peaky Blunders. Is that really a spot in England? I wouldn't.
The Peaky Blinders show is what he's talking about.
What's that?
It's a TV show. You can look it up.
I didn't know. I don't know anything about it.
Yes, Bitfarms is undervalued in my opinion. Most definitely. Way undervalued.
It's crime drama. Post. See, you know why I can never be in like movies? Is because everybody's so short. They're all the same height.
There's tall people in movies. There's not an
No,
anti-tall person thing in the
I
movie.
think there is. There is. I. Oh, I never even
What?
heard of it.
You
I
can
thought
put
he
that
lived
in
there.
the complaint. Send that to the complaint department.
Same area watch. Do. Does anybody know? When nobody. So usually we have a whole bunch of Canadian people watching. So I figured that they would be watching and they would understand that. But I guess they don't know the Doug and Bob McKenzie.
Well, also, you kind of got to be over a certain age that I will not say.
I'm 52 and I'm proud. So I don't mind being 52.
So you got to be over 50 to know that reference, most likely. But it was a thing back in the 80s.
It was a thing. So keep buying Bitcoin. I mean, Clean Spark.
My short-term target for Bitfarms is $7.32. So
What was the first single stock you bought? Oh, you both brought. Well, Tom's my life partner, just so you know. Not there's anything wrong with that. What was it, Tom? It was something. Oh, it was Apple. I think, right? Or we didn't. We bought the options in Apple.
we were messing around in Apple. The first Bitcoin miner that I bought, I'll tell you, I bought Marathon because Riot had run up to like $3. And I thought, wow, man, I missed the whole thing. I'll buy some Marathon, which was at that point lagging behind, to see if I could catch some of this. And little did I know, that was just the very beginning. So I was in Marathon first. I know I was following Riot first, but you know I kept waiting for a pullback and it didn't happen. And then they got over $3, and I thought, oh, it's game over. But who knew?
We were gonna do a. Should I tell this, Tom? You guys would know how dumb. So we were gonna do a website for the channel, right? And I said, Tom, I got a great name for the website.
Oh,
It's
boy.
called findtheminers.com. And he goes, George, you can't do that. I said, what do you mean, find the miners? I didn't spell it the wrong way. He goes, George, you need to think what that means. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Tom, I don't understand. So Find the Miners was not a good idea, guys. That was not a good name.
That's not the one we're going with.
Find the Miners.
We're open to suggestions.
Find the Miners. Hang on, I gotta take a call real quick. Hang on.
On Lux, you know, I'm kind of got out of Lux. They had an awesome run up, and I think they got a good future ahead of them. But at the moment, it's very volatile stock. And I also I kind of decided I wasn't going to talk about any or do any videos on any miners that were under $100 million market cap, because even 100 million is small. But I do like Lux. I think it's good company. They got good things going. I don't think that, and the Creator Show, I don't think that CleanSpark will move their main business from mining to solar. I think they're going to have multiple lines of business. And right now they're focusing on mining, obviously, because Bitcoin's in the middle of a giant run and they're minting money on it. But yeah, they haven't left the rest of their business behind. Just trying to read some of these comments. I'm really curious how the mining costs per Bitcoin are developing. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but the difficulty rate is going up. It's going to get back to where it was. and beyond, if you just look at the amount of Bitcoin mining machines that people have on purchase order, the network is going to be bigger than ever this time next year. So I don't know Matt Knowledge and Rex Finance, but I do know that you're like the third or fourth person that's mentioned Rex Finance to me. So I guess I should go look that up. And Matt, now I'd be glad to collaborate. That would be fun. I got to see what these guys do. I'm assuming they're talking about Bitcoin, but I don't know. I don't know about MKTY. That one I'm going to have to look up. So I can't answer that. I'm not sure about that one. MKTY. I've gotten a lot of cool companies recommended to me. One of the things is well, we'll see what this one is. A lot of them are in sectors I'm not familiar with. Yeah, see, my due diligence on this is going to have to be a lot more because I'm just not that familiar with what they do, even though they could be a good company. Yeah, I get a lot of great recommendations, and I do try on the weekends. It's hard during the week, trading and all, to add new ones to my list. But on the weekends, I try and look up and research some of these stocks that people send me, like this one. So I'll probably check this one out this weekend. So Matt only talks CleanSpark, is what I'm hearing. And all right, hey, well, I'm on the same page. That's one of my 3 biggest positions, so I'll check that out. And Rex, 50% CleanSpark. Oh, all right, so there are a couple of CleanSpark guys. Well, you can count me in that group. I'm definitely, like I said, I sold none of my position today. My thoughts on tip ranks are, I mean, they basically consolidate all the different people that put, you know, at all the different investment firms. So really, they're just aggregating information, and people have very different incentives when they put a price target on a company. So I'm very dubious of looking at these price targets. There's ulterior motives. Most of the people that are making these price targets are also trading these stocks, so you don't know what their line of reason is. I try to come up with my own price target. I'll admit, I look at what the analysts say, but I never ever make a final decision based on what the analysts say, and I oftentimes go directly in opposition with what they're saying. Somebody asked me, would you sell some CleanSpark for some Bitfarm? I mean, that's not a bad... Those are 2 of my favorite things, so selling one for the other. CleanSpark has had much more of a recovery than Bitfarm. So, yeah, if you wanted to mitigate and move some, that makes sense to me. I'd think about doing that. We are working on a Discord. We have it almost set up. It's just more work than I realized. So we're almost there, and I will let everybody know when we get our Discord up and running. We're kind of doing some practice runs on it, and you guys might not have noticed from my live streams, but I'm not very technologically skilled, so I need to get used to Discord. But George actually set most of that up. And George and both of our kids are working on that. And so we're getting ready to do that. So as soon as we can, we will have a Discord up and running.
That's an actually good question. Who does mine the lowest? I remember that somebody was like $2,900. Who was that?
There's a lot of it. That one's really hard to answer. Everybody keeps coming out with a lower and lower. Somebody was under 2 cents per watt, and that was like blew everything away. But they don't have any miners yet, and they're not mining anything, so it's hard for me to say that that's real until they actually go do it. I know Bitfarms has some long-term commitments at 4 cents, which was considered great. But honestly, everybody seems to be beating that now. So 4 cents, 3 cents, 2.5 cents. There's not a drastic difference. And remember, when the price of Bitcoin is at $60,000 or $80,000, it's not that big of a difference whether you're paying 3 cents or 4 cents.
Hey, does anybody mine? Does anybody mine any Bitcoin in the audience? Like a little operation, or mine one of those, what was that other little thing we saw? The little mining thing where you could do the helium, I think it was called helium.
Oh, yeah.
Helium, aka the biggest spy network in America. I was just curious if anybody mined.
Yeah, we've been trying to put that side of this together for a long time, and finding a reputable company to buy Bitcoin mining machines from has been beyond challenging for us. So,
Oh yeah, it's been bad.
lots of people will tell you that they will sell you a Bitcoin mining machine. They don't necessarily have one, though.
Well, I think we're good until tomorrow. I guess tomorrow, what, 4:15 tomorrow?
4:15 tomorrow will be the end of the week.
Recap time.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. I hope everybody had a great trading day.
See you later, alligators. Do, 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 do.